Teen Sports listeners, I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes. Big smiles, yeah. Oh my God, Dr. D, can you handle it? You got a bunch of females in the house today. I don't know if you're going to be able to...
This is actually the second show in a row where there were... I was going to say nothing but females in the room.
Yeah?
But then I'd have to explain myself.
Oh, you're going to do that. You're actually really good. You can navigate that.
I can. I was born into a family of 5 females.
Oh, you're really good about that.
By the way, do you know that this program is 3 months away from Christmas?
Serious?
Well, this is actually the 26th of September. And we got 3 months to go. If you want to look at it that way.
That's right.
Or you got 365 days until the 26th of September 2018.
Yeah, well, you like that. You're a numerology?
Into numbers.
Guy.
I'm into numbers.
You're like a numbers guy.
I am.
Huh.
Wow, thinking about Christmas. I thought we were supposed to wait till Thanksgiving before we think about Christmas.
Oh, they already have the Christmas trees up in Macy's.
No.
Yes, they do.
That's Halloween.
Okay, equal time here.
Yes, ma'am.
You're forgetting a holiday.
Oh, sorry. What is the
You have
special?
to get a little phlegm in your throat.
Hanukkah. By the way, Hanukkah rocks.
Sure does.
Dr. Energy's in the house. How you doing, Terri Cooper?
I'm doing
Marriage and family therapist.
What are you teaching these days?
Oh, thank you so much for asking me that. Actually, I've got the 2 classes that are coming up in the end of September and October are both fully enrolled. Oh. So there's no point in mentioning them.
But we can know what we're missing.
That's it. What are we missing?
What can't I attend?
But in December, you can attend a class.
Okay.
And it's called The Art of Channeling, and it's a way of communicating with your higher consciousness to look at various key aspects of life and how to access that higher awareness to inform and improve the quality of your life. And that still has openings, and that's in December.
December what?
2nd.
The 2nd of December.
Of December in 2017, yes. And we still have some openings.
So that's just for tuning?
That's for attunement, yes.
Not that I know anything about that.
Well, then that would be a great opportunity to come in. You see, Erica has now been channeling up a storm. She has become the definitive channeler for her neighborhood, the Los Feliz channeler.
I Googled it, Los Feliz, and then I Googled Puente, and it's the bridge to happiness.
Is it?
Who does that? I did do that.
Well, they do name things.
Yeah,
you could have come from Dead Indian Street. We have a street in Spanish. It's Dead Indian Street.
Awesome.
What is it? Indios Muertos.
Oh, who didn't know that, right?
Wow.
Queen knew that.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's why I like, I can't remember, Erin Graffey and her book having to do, I think it was her book, having to do with the street names of Santa Barbara and what they mean and where the names came from.
Yes.
So, you got to be careful what you name streets. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Of course you do.
Serious.
I knew a doctor who lived on Easy Street.
Yeah.
And
that's a double meaning, isn't it?
Yes, well, it is. And I have an ophthalmologist who's very easy on the eye. So there you go. Okay, enough chit-chat here.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to pass the mic? You're going to break right?
I'm going to break to the right to our lovely teen co-host who is looking forward to going to Princeton pretty soon.
Stop. She just leaves.
Alexandria Marx.
Woo! Hands together! Dad Marcus! How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Look
How
at
about
her.
you?
She just glows.
Oh, wait. Okay. It's been a hard week, but
look at her.
it's been good.
She still glows.
It's only Tuesday.
Yeah. So, anyway, so are we introducing
What
our
makes
guests?
a teenager's life hard?
What makes a teenager's life hard?
I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I'm just wondering, what is the difficulty, and how can you help our listeners to get past that, since here you are after a difficult week, and you're able to smile and appear to be relaxed. I don't know if that's drugs or...
Well, I can tell you it's not drugs.
But there is a reason why you have this lovely Pacific attitude, and I'm just wondering what the secret is to maintaining equanimity, equality.
Very
what
good.
is the word?
Equanimity.
Equanimity. Equanimity.
Excellent.
Woo.
Bonus points.
It pays to look at the
Balance.
dictionary. Balance in the face of a difficult
Adversity.
week. Yes.
I think that's the magic question. I don't know. It's always been my disposition, I guess, and just keep looking, keep moving forward. There's always something else for me to do, so I have to have a lot of energy, and I have to have a lot of excitement for everything I do, and keeping yourself involved with things that you like to do and people that you like to be around. There you go.
And that helps. I think a support system is important at any age, and we're lucky enough to have such wonderful organizations that are there for us to build community with. And later, when we speak to my guest, Dr. Melissa Moreno, we'll talk about how SBCC is serving the community in a wonderful new way.
And the other thing, too, is as long as you keep moving, they can't hit you. The moving target is
There
much
you
harder.
go.
Unless you're playing dodgeball. Well, then they can. That is the weirdest game I've ever heard of in my life.
I know. I hated it in school, too.
I
so there
mean,
go.
what is that? You love dodgeball? You let people throw balls to hurt
No,
you?
no, she did not.
No,
she was never in the
that's it.
center of the ring.
No, I knocked people out.
Yeah.
Lovely.
She was the type of person I didn't like.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, no.
I like her.
That's it.
The trick with
you wanted to be on my
dodgeball
team.
that kids learn playing this game is you are either going to be moving yourself so that you're out of the way of the oncoming, or you're going to be aggressive and you're going to catch it. And so it's learning that life takes those two positions. Sometimes that's what your goal is. You're like water, and you're going to roll around the obstacles and not get hit. Or you're going to be aggressive and you're going to take it on and dish it right back.
Plus, I always had friends that were not very strong, and I always protected them. See? So there.
Looking out for the greater good.
I did. I always protected the ones that weren't that good. I did.
Thank you.
You should have played on her team.
Well, Dominic, you make a good point. I think with all the sports, we learn so much from them, and even, you managed to take my view of dodgeball and look at it as a philosophical learning experience and a learning experience in life, and I appreciate that. And also what you said, Alexandra, about knowing that you have to be up for things, and if you can generate excitement and you can have things in your life that bring you joy, sometimes when you've got to slog through the other stuff, that helps to maintain a balance and give you the energy that you need to go towards that which you want to get done, that you have to get done, and it's not all storm and drong. Yes, that's a law firm, I think, in town. So.
Well, I've got a question for you, Alexandra. I've been contemplating two different responses to stress. You're trying to make a decision, and there's, on the one hand, people are telling you should do this, and then on the other hand, you're kind of feeling a pull that maybe you should do something else, because inside you feel the pull. So I've been experimenting with this sensation of relief and it could be inspired action. So what I'm trying to do in my life right now is slow down a little bit, and when I have to make those critical, stressful choices about what I'm going to do, look to see if my body is feeling a sensation of relief when I make a choice, or feeling a sensation of, this is inspiring, kind of like a little bit elated. And I'm just wondering, have you ever had that sensation?
Absolutely. And I don't know, are these spur of the moment decisions?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good question.
I think that life is all about, choosing as many ups as you can, because you're going to be thrown with as many downs as possible. So if you're able to take advantage of an opportunity that's thrown your way and you want to pursue that opportunity, then absolutely do it. Sometimes you're too exhausted or there's too many things going on, and so it's not worth your time and it's not worth your energy. But making those critical decisions, and again, I think that's when having a support group is good, because they can help you make those decisions, especially when they're big decisions, is always really powerful, and balancing yourself and learning what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So if you want to pursue it and you still think it's going to wear you out too much, then making that decision.
Do you find that your generation needs that gratification? It's not something that you want to put in the 8, 10, 12 years, because you have to have it because your generation is used to having things so fast. Do you know what I mean? So you don't
from an older from an older generation perspective.
Right.
So you mean putting it forward, so to speak?
The gratification.
I think it depends on the person, really, and I think my generation does have a tendency to want to be impatient about what they want, but I think that also might be what makes us so innovative, is that we're looking for new opportunities and new ways to get things as soon as possible and get things done as efficiently as possible. So I think it can be a good in that sense, but it can also be a bad if you're not looking out for yourself in 10 years and you're making instantaneous decisions.
Interesting.
That's a great point of view. That's a great perspective. Thank you, both of you. That's very interesting. You want to put your 2 cents in?
Well, I'm the dodgeball student that had glasses and braces and wore goggles and a mouth guard and never won.
That's so funny. That's adorable. Hey, we've got a great show coming up. Stay tuned. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be right back with more message after these messages. Good morning, everybody. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Don't you just love it when we just start? We are back. No, we're going to continue. We're just going to keep going. We're back every single Tuesday. Yeah, at 9 a.m. This is what happens, Terri Cooper, when I talk to you, and all of a sudden I look at Dr. D, and he looks at me and says, we are back. Don't you just love it? Because we're on right now. You know that?
I'm very confused by what you just said.
See? We're back. And you know where we can find us?
Yes.
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes.
Internet.
Yes.
YouTube. Instagram.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out Instagram.
Yes.
Twitter. My favorite, teensportsradio.com.
Isn't that wonderful? I think that was the best comeback from commercial I think we've ever had in 7 years. The life and the liberty and the pursuit of happiness from this show. I love it. Do you want to? Who do you want to go? What should we? You want to?
Okay, I guess I'm going.
Yes,
so,
you're going. Do it.
So today I have on the show.
Yes,
Sarah Gore.
Woo! Yeah, put your hands together.
Thank you. Hi.
This is wonderful.
Yeah. So how are you? We'll start off with that.
I'm doing well. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself for people who don't know who the infamous Sarah Gore is.
Well, I am relatively new to Santa Barbara. I've been here about 5 years now. I have a 3-year-old daughter, so I still consider myself a new parent, even though I should be getting the hang of it by now. And I grew up in Washington, D.C. My dad was a politician. He says he's a recovering politician now, Al Gore. And so I am getting to know Santa Barbara locally and have been interested to discover the organizations here that are doing good things.
Well, great. So tell us about those organizations. What have you been up to? What have you found?
Well, today is actually National Voter Registration Day, and that's an issue that I've become more involved with. There's something really exciting happening in California for teens, which is high school voter education weeks. It's 2 weeks
actually right now, the last 2 weeks of September, and then the next round will be in April. And it's an opportunity for high school students to register to vote, and also pre-register. 16 and 17-year-olds can pre-register to vote in California. So there are going to be events in the 4 public high schools in Santa Barbara for these 2 weeks.
Great. Yeah. Are there any other programs that you think teens should be involved in, or that you've been hearing about too while you've been here?
Future Leaders of America is a group that I've heard is really great. I have met the leader of that, Eder, and he's been really involved with the DACA youth and talking about that issue. And also Girls Inc., another great group that I know a lot of people really love.
Can I catch you for a second on the voter registration? I would love if you would give a plug of why it is so important to vote, because there's so many times, especially in Democratic California, I had people who said, oh, well, I don't like either presidential vote, so why does my vote matter? And I've always been of the opinion that you need to express your voice and you need to take advantage of this opportunity. And I was just wondering if you could add to that.
That's really well said. I love hearing people speak to that. I myself, when I've asked people why they haven't voted, people who have been able to, I don't know if it's voter apathy so much as it is a lot of different emotions that people have. Sometimes they think their vote won't count, that they've put their emotion into something and it hasn't worked out well with a campaign or something like that. And I just think that there's always that opportunity to speak and to make your voice heard. And actually an interesting point I heard recently is that if you don't think that your one vote matters, think about the influence that you have on other people. Like you can influence hundreds of people around you, your family and friends and community. So voting is really important. But also, being a part of your community and getting other people to vote, that's another way to magnify, your power.
I don't think a lot of us in the country really know how hard won the vote was. The first women that wanted to get the vote, they were beaten up. They were imprisoned. These were society women. And the things that they went through to be able to get the vote. I think, just speaking about women, if women would realize what was sacrificed and what these brave women did to enable women to have the vote, I think that might make a difference. So I think we sometimes need to let people know, and wake up to what a gift the ability to have our voice heard really means in the context of the rest of the world and in the context of history.
Right on. I think we've got a long history in this country, which is relatively short compared with the world. But I think not just women, but a lot of groups have been disenfranchised, and actually, I was hearing about how the party system has played a role in that, because one party wants to disenfranchise the other party, and so there's a long history of that, and I think it's really an opportunity in today's day and age where we have more transparency to hold people accountable and really keep in mind this goal of fair voting and fair representation. And definitely people have work to do to overcome those forces of voter suppression.
Thank you.
Well, it's so fascinating about having our teen co-hosts come on and bring guests on and so forth. I mean, not only are you working to figure out, okay, what college am I going to go to, what sports am I playing, what activities I'm involved in, but you also have to realize that you are now a citizen of this country and you have a responsibility to participate. So there is a whole lot that I can see as a teenager that would be stressing you out.
Yeah, and on that note, I was curious if you're not eligible to vote yet because you're not 18 or you're curious about your status, etc., what should I do as a person to go about learning more about that? And when I'm in college, how accessible is it for me to vote if I'm in a new place, etc.?
In California, you can pre-register to vote. So if you go to registertovote.ca.gov, you can pre-register. But I think really important ways to learn and to get engaged would be to go to a city council meeting, to volunteer on a campaign. And I think that there's nothing like those kinds of hands-on experiences. I think another thing is to think about a question or a problem that you care about and ask for guidance. Actually, the public library is a really good resource if you ask librarians to help you. For example, the Indio Muerto Street, there are some people who are organizing around that, wondering if they'd like to change that name. You can have it, right? And then, asking for help from people who know more about how things actually work. What steps can I take to organize and to try to change that.
I think that's a very well put. Start local. Start local and get involved in you live in a community. You have to be a part of the community. In whatever, whether it's, get involved in the foods that we eat, or in the school that you take your children to. You have to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Let's take a short little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We're very blessed today to have such a great guest. Thank you for participating. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. I'll talk about you at the end. All right? So weird. Domonique, where else can you find us?
Facebook.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Twitter. TeenSportsRadio.com.
Isn't it nice? We had like 40 some odd people view the show this last week. Isn't that exciting?
How did they view it?
See it, whatever, hear it.
How did they see it?
Whatever, how they do it. YouTube. That's it. YouTube. That's it. They listen to it. I call it viewing.
Okay, all right.
Streaming.
Yes.
It's paint.
Because
you're licking me.
You normally can hear this program on AM 1290, the Santa Barbara News Press radio station.
It's fine.
As they're over there putzing around and playing and scraping paint off the
I have an announcement.
Forehead.
I have an announcement.
What's that?
After Terri Cooper's treatment. Is it called a treatment? I want to say it the right way. Session. What's it called?
No, it's called full spectrum healing.
Right. So she kind of guided me in the right.
Modest name, wouldn't you say?
She guided me she guided me in a direction. Anyway, so 139 West Mission is officially starting on Monday. It's we have at this last Monday. It's open. We have all it's a segment, a taste of my art, my work is up. It's really nice. It's viewed. It's the doors are open, right?
It's really encouraging. It's actually encouraged a number of teens that have looked at your art, Erica, and they've gone, wow, I need to grab a paintbrush and give this a shot.
It's inspirational, really. Whenever we do something, we're modeling, whether it's good modeling or bad modeling. And we're always, people around us look at us and take their cues from us. And if you're in a position of leadership, then we have a real opportunity to influence people in a way that will make a difference. It's good.
Yeah, I really appreciate your comment. I think people forget how much influence we have on all the people around us.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the location again is
139 West Mission.
139. Now, where is that in reference to your offices that they're on De La Vina and Mission?
And Mission, McConnell's Ice Cream. That's how I like to reference it. Right across Durf's.
I know where Durf's is.
Okay, right across the street.
Is.
If you go to Durf's, or Sure Burger, it's a pitch and wedge right across the street from Durf's.
Throw a rock into the window.
That's it. That's a good way to look at it.
Don't throw a rock into the window.
Don't throw a rock into my window.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Isn't that around the corner from About Justice?
It's right.
Same thing. Okay.
Connected.
All right.
That's
then
it.
I know exactly where you are.
Nice.
I go by there pretty much every Friday.
What hours will they be open? And will somebody be there to talk to them and explain what this art is about and how it came about?
I'm going to be there.
You'll be there.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. And are you having an open house where we can?
I will be there. Just come on by.
Okay,
I will be there. No, we don't need to do that. Just look at. She wants an open house. We're not going to do that.
Open.
It's going to be open. It's just opening up. Okay, let's get back. We have other people.
No, it's okay. So. Didn't we have time? So didn't you like it's my show, right? Yeah. Didn't you say that it was also going to be a healing center.
Right.
So how will that be?
We're going to talk about that at the next show next week because we're so blessed with the people that we have here right now. And I'm starstruck. And so are you. Everybody's struck. And I see all these people else in the room. We'll talk about that later, too. Okay?
Can I ask another question?
But
how did you choose Santa Barbara? Out of all the places you've traveled, especially with your dad, why did you choose
the world?
Santa Barbara?
The world's a big place.
I chose the West Coast as soon as I graduated from college on the East Coast, and I've I've been in Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, San Francisco. And when I was leaving San Francisco, I wasn't sure where I wanted to go, but my mom was actually spending time in Santa Barbara, and I came and visited, and I just thought it was beautiful. I didn't really think about living here until I heard about some of the nonprofits in town, actually. And there was
3,164.
Yeah. I guess it's denser with nonprofits than anywhere in the world, I'm told. So I think just like the big-heartedness of that really appealed to me.
I think that also goes with what we were saying earlier with how can you, I think I asked this, but how can you get involved? And there are so many opportunities, especially locally, to get involved in almost anything that you could possibly want to get involved in. And we're really blessed to have such an active community. So I think that's my plug for going to do something that you're passionate about and that energizes you.
So another quick question. Do you feel the same about climate change that your dad feels?
I do. I tend to like listening to people who might not agree, and so I take a different approach than he does when I talk about it. But I really trust his judgment, first of all, I would say, and I'm not one of those people who doesn't believe in science or scientists, and so I am scared about what's going on, and I'm interested in figuring out ways to change it and to reverse, the damage that's been done.
What I find interesting is, regardless of which side of the aisle on that subject you're on, my observation is, throw all of the science out. Don't you think maybe we should take care of our place that we live in? I mean, because the bottom line is, if you're opposed to all of these things that are supposed to make it better, then I'm going to walk into your house and I'm going to throw dirt all over the place and I'm going to dump stuff, chemicals and things in your home, because it doesn't matter. It does matter. Show me where animals, they defecate where they eat. They don't. Why are we doing that to ourselves? It has nothing to do with climate change. It has to do with having a nice place to live.
Integrity, respect.
Yeah, stewardship. I would agree with that. I think where big business and industrial scale business is concerned, they don't think like that. They don't think about their responsibility to be stewards, or maybe they don't think about it as much as they should and as much as they could.
And another aspect, too, I know a lot of people are upset with the level of regulations. We've heard that on the federal level for the last 2.5 years. And I observe that regulations were put in place in the first place because, in the case of business, they refused to do the right thing. That's why we have the child labor laws that we do. Have they gone amok? Probably so. We've probably got more regulations. I use the analogy that you have a chessboard and you're standing in the middle of the chessboard, and here are the regulations, in particular for California. You can't move forward or back, side to side or diagonally, and you can't stay there. Okay. So, yeah, I would say they've probably gone amok, but we need to take care of our this is the only home we've got. And for people who are trying to escape to Mars, no, we don't deserve Mars yet because we haven't cleaned up this place yet.
And I think that young people are really taking a leadership role on this. There's a young man who is becoming a leader from the First Nations community. I can't pronounce his name. Have you guys heard of this guy? I'll have to look it up.
With the unpronounceable name.
What has he done? What has he done?
He was just on the Bill Maher show the other night, and he I think he's involved in a lawsuit. That's one way that he's approaching this, like trying to hold the government, the federal government accountable. So he's a young leader. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's got long hair, and he speaks really well, and he speaks from the heart, and I'll have to look up his name. I think it starts with an X, which sort of scared me off.
X's are so scary. Very scary kids. Ooh.
I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, but...
I even heard about this lawsuit that's being filed, I think it's here in California, against the oil industry or the petroleum companies. And I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. Nobody forced you to put the gas in your tank. The oil companies just provided the material. And I'm not on either side. I'm just looking at it and saying, this doesn't make any sense. We choose to go to the gas station and put the gas in the car and run it through the engine and out the tailpipe. Or to use electricity that's generated by, not so wonderful means and so forth and so on. You can't blame one group. We're all responsible.
At the city council meeting this past Tuesday, just a week ago, Emilio Campobello was speaking about, he's part of the Standing Rock Coalition Santa Barbara, and he made a point to what you were just talking about, saying that, this isn't really about blaming, and we are all complicit in varying degrees in our society, in our culture right now, but it's about wanting to be clear-eyed about what's happening and wanting to do better. He made that point better than I did just now. And actually, you can look at city council proceedings online. So those of you young people wanting to be active, you can find the link on the city council website, and you can watch the video of actually, I really recommend watching Emilio Campobello speak. I think that the show being on a Tuesday, the election will be on a Tuesday. So that's my segue, but I think I just want to put a plug in for that we do have an election coming up in Santa Barbara. And let's see, I guess it's on November 7th. Let me look up the date. Sorry.
Sure, just take your time.
Well, while you're doing that, I want to make a plug for calling our Congress people and our senators. I just recently called everyone and gave my opinion about something that had to do with transgendered in the military. And everyone answered the phone. Everyone wanted to know what my view was. They were gracious. I didn't have to speak into a machine. So I just want to tell people, get involved. Even if it's just the amount of picking up the phone and making a phone call. Get involved. People want to know what you think about things.
Right on.
Yes, let's take a little break on that. All right, this is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. Terri Cooper.
Yes. Well, I am very pleased to have brought a wonderful guest today to share and give us some really valuable information. She is Dr. Melissa Moreno. She is the interim vice president for Santa Barbara City College School of Extended Learning. And so she's graciously agreed to come and explain to all us folks the transmutation. Is that the right word for that? The mutation. That sounds a little biological. We went from adult ed to the Center for Lifelong Learning, and we are evolving ever upward to the School of Extended Learning. And Dr. Moreno has been gracious enough to come tell us all about it. So welcome.
Thank you so much. It's really fun to be here today.
So I'm glad you're here, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far.
I am. I'm having a great time.
Good. Yeah. Delightful.
You know what? I can think of a poem right now that probably expresses what's happened from adult learning on. Love and I had wit to win. We drew a circle that drew them in. I just see the Learning Center as just growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, that's our goal, is to grow, and it's a revival of sorts. So I think I'm really excited to be a part of it, and our message and our mission is in the right place for this community. So Wonderful. It's an exciting endeavor.
I'm looking forward to you sharing with our listeners what exactly the School of Extended Learning is. How is it different than what we now have? What is it reclaiming from the original adult ed format? What's going to be different so people understand it? I know lots of folks are confused about what it is and how it works. So if you would let us know, that would be great.
Sure. So the School of Extended Learning was really a brainchild of our relatively new president, Dr. Anthony Beebe, who came from San Diego Community College District, and it had one of the largest adult ed programs in the nation. And when he arrived, I think he saw an opportunity here, and I know the community is understanding of what has happened in the history of the transitions, or maybe it's transmogrifications from Calvin and Hobbes. We've gone through changes. We've gone through a lot of changes, and I think he sees this as an opportunity to revive tuition-free programming, and we changed it from tuition-free to fee-based, and now what we're trying to do is change it back to tuition-free, and then really take a look at what the community needs are in terms of adult education programming, and grow and perhaps meet new needs. So the School of Extended Learning now encompasses everything that we've been doing in adult ed tuition-free for the last 5 years, and it encompasses the fee-based programs of the Center for Lifelong Learning.
By encompassing it, are you saying that eventually we will get back to a totally fee-free curriculum, or will we still have classes as we currently are doing, some of which are free through your program and some of which are through CLL, and there is still a fee?
So the School of Extended Learning is intended to be a comprehensive and robust educational program that includes fee-based classes. So the state funds tuition-free programming in only 10 areas. And so what my role as the interim vice president is to maximize the courses that we can offer tuition-free to the public. So, but we can't offer everything tuition-free. So for those areas that we can't offer tuition-free, we want to keep fee-based courses to sort of fill the gap in the community need. So what the community will see is a change in what we're offering fee-based and a growth in what we're offering free to the community.
Wonderful. Do you want to talk about which ones will be under that fee-free umbrella, or should we just direct them folks to the curriculum in the brochures and they'll find out?
Well, for the first time in a long time, coming out for spring, we are having a print schedule because many of our audience prefers that print schedule. I've been in the community for over 35 years, and I remember that big, fat adult ed catalog. It was like the favorite thing you kept on your coffee table and went through. And so we're sort of reviving that in a way where...
It's a little bit like a seed catalog.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll be able to include everything we offer in a single place, which I think will help with some of quell some of the confusion. But we're going to be focusing fee-based areas on those that we can't offer for free, and that's going to be things like cooking and culture, languages, fitness and recreation, and spirituality. And so we're really kind of honing that focus over time. It's going to take some time. And then everything that we can offer for free, we're going to be transitioning from the fee structure. And so we're already bringing over hundreds of courses from the fee structure. So, for example, we launched about 100 courses for older adults. We're calling it the Vitality Program, and we've partnered with 16 assisted living centers in our community. And those are active right now. And so that's an example of what we're doing. And
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for letting us know that. Tell me, how did you become involved? You've been here for 5 years. How did you come on board to be our interim VP?
So I've actually worked for Santa Barbara City College for 10 years, and I started as the founder of the Scheinfeld Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And I dabbled in that for about 7 years for the college, and that became an award-winning national model for entrepreneurship centers. And then I was promoted to become a dean, and during my tenure as dean, I was assigned the business division and dual enrollment cosmetology and non-credit programs. So I sort of looked under the hood of non-credit for the past couple of years to really understand what we were offering in our community, such as English as a second language. We do career workforce training and vocational training to the community. And so as we moved to the School of Extended Learning, I was identified to serve in a 1-year capacity in an interim to really kind of create a strategy and a concept for the School of Extended Learning and to roll this out.
How are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it. I've been very busy, but I've done a lot of research, and I'm becoming this quasi-expert in tuition-free programming. And so I'm just really excited to be serving the community in a much greater capacity.
We're very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Woo! Yeah! Wow! I love it! She's back! Let's take a break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Oh, we got a cool question, and I get to ask it. I'm so excited. All right. Can I? Yes, I can.
Can I say when the election is first?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the local election in Santa Barbara is November 7th, Tuesday, November 7th, and the deadline to register is October 23rd. So if you're not yet 18, you should pre-register before October 23rd, and if you turn 18... by November 7th, you'll be able to vote. And you're voting for a new mayor and 3 city council seats and 1 measure.
Nice.
Okay.
And I knew when I took Alexandria, because, she had to have breakfast and everything at my house because, there was a flip-flop, in my AOL. I don't know what happened. Anyway, and then she brings on, the bomb.com guest. Okay. And you were allowed to use this as your floor, your stage, your hub, anytime you want. If you want to be a co-host, all those in favor? You're allowed anything you want.
Democracy in action.
Exactly. I love democracy. So, you're on. Okay. No, I might even change my vote. No, I'm just saying. Okay. Like my hair color, whatever she wants.
Hey, would you keep that on the air? I may change my vote.
Yeah,
I want that on the
whatever.
air.
No, how many people did I take to vote that didn't even vote, right? Absolutely. See, I don't care who they vote. I just brought them. Did I not? I believe in voting. Do I not? There you go. Okay, let's go. Let's get. Question? Okay. Can I have a story about, because you were 13, you were a queen, a teen, right? And
That's
a queen, right? So can you tell us a story about when you were in the house? In the big house?
Yeah.
All right.
So let's see. I was 13 when my dad joined the national ticket.
Everybody shh. Okay.
Yeah. And this is kind of weird, but the most time I've spent in the White House was going to see the dentist because there's an underground medical bunker in the White House where I guess, they want to be prepared for anything. And that's where I would go to the dentist. So I would walk through, I'd walk by that, the painting, the paintings of first ladies and stuff. And I would sort of get into a mode where I was ready for a tour or something.
Abstract or just still?
I'm thinking,
how was the
paintings?
lighting?
Oh, the house, yeah.
Was it abstract? No, still.
Oh, you mean
paintings?
The paintings?
Yes, I don't care about the art.
They're portraits of first ladies in the White House. So they were, the portrait of JFK, he doesn't show his face. Actually, he's kind of looking down, and that was the artist's way of rendering that. But
you didn't have pictures.
But I didn't have a lot of time, actually, to look at the paintings because I was being ushered downstairs into
security.
Bunker. Yeah, into this sort of 1950s style decorated dentist office. And that's my big White House like memory from being a teenager. Although the more exciting part would probably be the transfer of power days.
Right.
So I would go to the White House for that, just because the vice president lives not in the White House, but in the Naval Observatory, which is the old Admiral of the Navy's house in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
So Chelsea Clinton was living in the White House, and I basically got to go for the dentist and the transfer of power days. So,
That's awesome.
And then the Secret Service. As a teenager, it's kind of not the coolest thing to have a Secret Service detail. I mean, they're really nice, so that part of it is cool and fine, I guess. But that was an odd way to be a teenager.
How much are they involved in your life, the Secret Service? Like, I mean, they take you places, they watch you when you're in public, but how intrusive is that in your sense of privacy?
Actually, I was an athlete as a teenager, and my sports games were where they were the most present, actually, because they figure that scheduled events are the most easy way for somebody to try to find a child like that. So the Secret Service were really present at my soccer games and lacrosse games, and would drive me to and from sports events like that.
But Kevin Costner was never one of them, right?
I did have a crush on
remember that movie Bodyguard. I'm going, a room full of Kevin Costners, all for me.
Awesome.
There were some cute ones, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think the rules have gotten stricter now, actually, after September 11th. So the Secret Service are a lot more present, I think, in probably Trump's children's lives and grandchildren's lives. Yeah.
Maybe as a last question, give a plug for your favorite sport.
Yeah.
Tell teens why they ought to go out for a teen sport.
Well, soccer was my favorite sport. And I think team sports for me was the thing. I think it's an awesome way to build confidence, I think, and learn how to work with people.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. Sarah, Gore, put your hands together. Dr. Melissa.
Thank you.
Santa Barbara, we love you. Be kind. See you next week. God bless.